started my psychotherapy practice, and there was always this time problem, you know, so many hours, get paid so much money, and then you run out of hours. And that's it. You can't do anything anymore. And I loved working as a therapist, don't get me wrong. But after, 25, 30 years of it, I started feeling like I got to do more. I want to be more. I want to help more people. How do I expand that? How do I do it? And what I started doing is groups. So I started playing with this way back. I'd see I have 7 women I'm working with that are all going through a divorce. I'm going to do a divorce group. I'm going to put them all into the same 90 minutes. And then I freed up the hours. Well, guess what happened? Those hours got filled with one-on-one clients, because that's what happens. You move people over, and then you've got all this time, and then you're like, oh, somebody calls you and you're like, okay, you can have that time. And pretty soon you have no time for yourself. There was a ceiling on how much money I could make, because again, it was fee for service, right? It's the hour. And then if you live in New England, where I live, and other places in the world, and it snows and you have a face-to-face business, what happens? Because of the constraints of the medical model. So when I heard about coaching, I was like, oh, this is interesting. Doesn't have all those rules. I get to do what I want. I can be more creative. And so I started doing the coaching. And what was realistic for me at that point was parenting, because I was a parent and family therapist. And nobody else was doing what I was doing in terms of niching. Everybody I knew was a life coach. It was really, and you get to this point where you're doing all this stuff. And then I got really, really, really busy, but I thought that multiple streams of income was doing 5 jobs. But multiple streams of income means you have one hat and you do a lot of things under that one hat. Business coaching. So I never knew how to explain what I did to people, because I did so many different things. And the bottom line was that my income and revenue was whack-a-mole. Do you guys know what I mean by that? When I did my taxes for 7 years straight, it always came out to the same amount of money for my income. Gross revenues and net profit was always the same. So one year I did a little bit more in the health coaching. I didn't have time to do something in the parenting. The next year I did more in the parenting, and I didn't do as much in the health coaching. So it's a stuck place. Because if you're doing 100 things for different people in different ways, you can't focus on one thing. And if you can't focus on one thing, you can't keep improving that one thing and making it better. So I peeled back, and I kept peeling and peeling and peeling until 2015. And in 2015, I was started highly profitable practice. I said goodbye to the health coaching. I said goodbye to my private practice. I said goodbye to parent coaching. And all I did was business coaching. But think about it. Where was my following? Where was my list? It was like in 17 different buckets. I had nothing. So if you have nothing today, don't worry. Because if you claim this and you build this and you duplicate it, you will have something very fast. But the key is you have to trust and let go of the things that aren't serving you, that aren't getting you to where you want to be.